morning, welcome to a Florida trip. I can't believe we're actually here. Well, about to travel to Florida. Yeah, this trip has been a long time coming. I'll give you a bit of background, but I don't sort of want to go into things too much without checking with Claire first, because that's not my place. We originally booked to go to Florida back in February of 2020, before COVID, before anything happened, and we should have gone in September 21. Obviously that got postponed and we moved it to September 22, and then if you watched my September trip you'll know that Claire didn't come with me, and I didn't go into why. Obviously we didn't fall out or anything like that, but she wasn't able to come. She wasn't very well. I sort of, like, I'm gonna check with her first. I will, if she's happy for me to, I will tell you about it, because I actually think this would be a really good place to sort of raise awareness about it, because it was nothing that any of us had ever heard of before. We had no idea about it, and yeah. Hello, future me here. I just wanted to pop like a bit more of an explanation in here, because I have now checked with Claire. I did ask her on holiday, but I just never got around to sort of talking about it, and adding that clip in. But obviously I mentioned that we were supposed to originally travel to Florida in September 2021, which obviously got moved to September 22 because of COVID. We were supposed to travel in the September, and then we had a trip to London planned. I think it was around the end of the May bank holiday, sort of that time. I think we were supposed to be away for the bank holiday in May of 2022. We were due to go down to Harry Potter and do London and all of that. And at the beginning of that week, Claire started to feel unwell. At the time she didn't sort of think too much of it straight away, I don't think, and we just sort of were like, let's see how you are, but also at the same time I was very much like, if you're not well enough to travel to London, we won't go, we'll move it. And so we postponed that, again not sort of too worried at the time, but very quickly things got worse, and eventually Claire ended up in hospital. She was diagnosed with something, and I really hope I pronounce this right, so apologies if I don't, with something called Guillain-Barre Syndrome. Now, again, apologies if that's not correct. Obviously I'm not with Claire now, I'm at home, so she'd know how to pronounce it properly. But yeah, it was not something any of us had ever heard of before, so I'm not going to talk too much about all of that because that's personal to her, that's private what happened. But when she was diagnosed with it, she became very poorly very quickly. It was horrible. It was an awful time, but it meant obviously that she couldn't come to Florida in September of 2022. And whilst I don't have a lot of subscribers on here, I don't sort of, this is not, you know, I just do this for YouTube for sort of a bit of a hobby when I do travel. It's, you know, it's not a serious thing for me, but I felt like if it, you know, doing these videos, this was a very special trip for us, but also to me it's a good platform to talk about that, because as I say, we knew nothing about it, we'd never even heard of it before, and sort of everyone that we talked to, you know, me, my friends, nobody knew what it was, and so yeah, we've sort of had to learn a lot about it ourselves, and there is some very good sort of social media accounts out there trying to raise awareness. Claire has set up her own as well to raise awareness. I'm going to link everything below, and I just think it's really important that you sort of know about it, because it is a very horrible illness, and I think if you don't know what to look out for, you wouldn't know, you know, that you had it, basically. So just sort of a little bit of an overview of what it is, and I just had to sort of bring it up on my phone because, yeah, but it is, so it's a really rare condition, and it attacks a person's immune system and all of their sort of peripheral nerves. So, you know, things like eating, talking, walking, like that was all sort of, yeah, affected. As I said, although Claire has said she's happy for me to talk about it, I am very conscious that it is personal to her, it's private, and I don't want to go into too much detail. But yeah, we want to raise awareness about it, because it is horrible. It was a long recovery, which is obviously why when I talk about the fact that we originally booked to go to Florida in September 2021, and okay, COVID affected all of that, but we originally booked a trip in February of 2020 to travel like 18 months later, and then obviously we had to wait, you know, and it was important that we waited until she could fully enjoy Florida and it wouldn't be sort of too much for her, because it is a very sort of, or it can be a very intense holiday. There's lots of walking, obviously it was very, very hot, and so particularly for me, having been before, I wanted her to be able to fully enjoy it, so that is why sort of we waited so long, you know, instead of just rushing in and booking it straight away. But yeah, that's sort of the reason. Obviously I said it previously, we hadn't fallen out. I didn't want anybody to think that, and that I was just going off to Florida without her. But yeah, this was a very special trip. We both had an amazing time, and it just sort of made it even more special with everything that Claire's been through, that we were able to do it and do it properly. So yeah, that's just a little bit about it. I am going to link anything I can below. Please read it. You know, please sort of just, you know, be aware of it and the things to look out for. You know, the sooner it's diagnosed, the better. So yeah, that's me. Enjoy the rest of our travel day. So obviously she wasn't able to come in September, so my friend Lindsay came with me, and once Claire was well enough, we booked Florida again. So we booked this, it was sometime last year when the Disney offer came out, so I think we probably booked it around April, May time. We were trying to do it and went through a DVC, a stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, so we couldn't book anything until 11 months. We weren't able to get one, sort of the room we wanted. We booked direct through Disney, and we are staying at Pop Century, which I'm really excited about, to have the Skyliner. Pop Century looks really, really nice. I've sort of just visited for the afternoon. But yeah, so we are going for 2.5 weeks, which is just, I think we're both a bit like, oh my god, I can't believe we're actually doing that. We fly out today. I am currently at the Premier Inn, so is Claire. She's just jumped in the shower, I've made a cup of tea, and we're going to get ready before we head over to the terminal. But we fly today with Virgin. We did Virgin Twilight check-in at Manchester last night, which was unbelievably easy, and the staff were just so nice, like, so chatty and friendly, and we had a right laugh with them. And yeah, it's not something I've done at Manchester before. I've done it at Gatwick. But it just sort of takes that pressure off this morning, that we can just go to security, go through, get breakfast and not have to worry about any of that. So we did that last night. That was super easy. If you are doing it, Manchester Airport, you head to the Terminal 2 West multi-storey car park. You get a token out of the machine. When you go to the check-in desk, there's like a little machine sort of on the desk. When you finished your check-in, you put the coin on it and it like validates the coin as paid, so that you just drive out the car park again, and you don't have to pay, which I thought was really good, because it is very expensive. It's about £12 I think for an hour. So yeah, that was last night. That was really easy to do. My mum and dad then dropped us off at the Premier Inn, and we just had a bit of food here, sort of settled down for the night, and we've just woke up. It's currently 6:30. We have got a taxi booked for 10 to 8 to take us over to the terminal, and yeah, just can't quite believe we're going. We aren't going straight to Disney today, although we will be staying at Pop Century in a few days. We are heading straight to Universal this time, and this is why we've done a bit longer, because sort of we've tied it in with the bank holiday so that we can sort of take longer off work. So the bank holiday at the end of May, and also sort of with things that have happened, it was important that we did it sort of so Claire was able to do it properly. So we are checking into Royal Pacific tonight at Universal. We'll hopefully get an hour or so in the park when we get there, because we land about 3 o'clock and I think the park's open till 6. So our plan is to do that tonight, then just head to Walmart, get a few like bits and pieces that we need, like toiletries, water, whatever. We're there then till Sunday evening. We'll check out on Sunday, and we then move over to Pop Century for 2 weeks, where we'll do sort of Disney outlets, all of that. And yeah, I genuinely can't believe it's here. I have been so busy with work and just life that it really didn't sort of feel real until today. Like waking up, even yesterday was such a busy day that yeah, it just, and I think we're both a bit like, until we're actually on that plane taking off, it, you know, we've waited so long for this trip. As I say, we originally booked to go and booked the trip in 2020, so we are over 4 years since this was booked. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to drink my cup of tea, then I'm going to have a quick shower, and we're going to head over to the terminal. I will check in as much as I can. I very much want to just enjoy this trip and not spend half of it behind my camera, because it is a very special trip. So yeah, but I will check in when I can and take you along. I'm going to finish this here and carry it on tomorrow because I have filmed nothing today. We had a very uneventful day really. We had fast track at Manchester, so we were straight literally through security in 5 minutes. We got to go through the new scanners where you don't take anything out, you don't have to take your trainers off, jackets, all of that, like, so we literally just put everything in trays and went through. So that was really good. You didn't have to take your liquids out or electrics. Obviously I've got my laptop for uploading stuff, so that was great. We had some breakfast at the pub, couldn't tell you the name. It was fine. And then we boarded. The flight was fine. It went fairly quickly. The last 2 hours they kept the seatbelts sign on because it was really bumpy. We were flying into a thunderstorm, I think they said. By the time we landed it was gone. But yeah, other than that, really just uneventful day, to be honest. I think we got off the plane at 3 and we were in our taxi for 5 to 4, I think. It took us a little while to work out Uber. We'd have been in an Uber a lot quicker otherwise. I've never done that before, but because we're at Universal it made sense to do that. So we went down to like the ground level of Terminal B, I think it is. And we couldn't figure it out, so we asked somebody and he said you need to go back upstairs. And then we just requested an Uber. It was quite pricey, considering it only took us 20 minutes. It was about $30, but it's fine. Between us, that's nothing. And we, when I tell you, we dumped our bags and went straight out. We went into the park for an hour. We must be stupid and crazy because we've been up for... Time is it at home? It's 10 o'clock here. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I was awake at 4 AM. So I've been awake for a total of 23 hours and I didn't really sleep on the plane. I maybe had like half an hour dozing. But yeah, we literally just got changed and went straight out, and the park shut at 6 tonight, so we knew we'd only get an hour, but we thought we might as well. So we went into Universal Studios and we did Fast and Furious and Men in Black. So only 2 rides, but yeah, it was nice just to go in and do something. Took a couple of pictures. We came back here, jumped straight in an Uber to go to Walmart. Again, very uneventful. We just needed sort of toiletries, shampoo, conditioner, because we decided not to bring those things and just buy them here. My God, I'm just eating. That's why. So yeah, we went there. We just wanted something really quick for dinner, so we just got a McDonald's in Walmart, brought it back here, we've eaten it, showered, hair washed, and we are ready to go to sleep. It's been a long day, but very uneventful, and that's why I've not vlogged anything, because there's really been nothing to see. So I'll carry this on tomorrow. We are heading to Islands of Adventure in the morning. Early entry is 7 AM tomorrow because there's an event on tomorrow night, so it's shutting earlier, so they're opening it earlier. So we will probably be up and out quite early because I think we just want to make the most of it. But no doubt we'll be awake early anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.